all the old movies that I have that I'm searching up back now, especially this one, it always comes up to me as the way they explain it now, that governments are authoritarian, a totalitarian, you know, freedom is impossibility, love is the ultimate crime. We're not talking about, they just present it as love, in regards what of love, the romantic sexuality and all that. But they do not know that today we've foreseen that love, you can't stop people from doing that. It's just gonna continue for lust. It's more akin to 1984, or sex is continuous, but the true love is almost a crime. You cannot feel true love anymore. Though it's akin more to 1984, like you just have porn into the masses. That's what they're already doing now, and you'd have sort of select women, all the women that are very beautiful. We're already seeing that at present stage, eugenics and all that. They will secondly go into herd all these populations, all these women up, or we do not know, acceptingly, and then they'll create a huge divide to lock away. If a war does come, if a nuclear war does come, and we have to prevent it every step of the way, well, first likely things is that these women will be selected for bunkers, to go into the bunkers. Just, of course, nature has its way, and that's the way it is. But if we're talking about a totalitarian government really that wants to select the people, what should they dictate on? A realistic totalitarian who would treat love as sort of like a business, a consumerist. A relationship commodified, which we already seen it, but they would restrict it badly. They would restrict it to the furthest minimum that true love cannot be in this relationship. Your thoughts are controlled, your emotions, everything's regulated, which is what they're doing all now, and people refuse to believe that. They think it's all, that's what people are thinking nowadays. They are literally dumbing us down. Those tinfoil hats weren't wrong. Some of them are also insiders of the government because they knew, looked at Snowden. And YouTube's probably going to censor me for this, but we're going to see a lockdown of freedoms, terms of love. Can you truly love someone and all that? No, you can't. It will be very infringed upon. They will say true love and all that. They would just throw your words right back at you and twist it in a way. Like today we see, that's just the first step. But then, once you get controlled and all that, very much that sex itself will be only selected for those. They'll say gifted, or they'll lock it down. Right now, if I can think, it would seem that in 3 years into the future, if we manage to last it long, or at least now, or 2022, we would see a severe curtailed freedoms of opinion. the dichotomy is getting restricted and more restricted. When you push people cashless society, right? It is more prone to control and government errors and all that. You cannot, realistically, you cannot push a society to total totalitarian structure. People say, but when you looked at Nazi Germany, even then you cannot push it. They would still push sex, for the ultimate sex. You look at communist Soviet Union Russia, the most brutal dictatorships in the world historically, still cannot fight against this system of reproduction. Why? It's not. It is strong, very, very strong, but it's not too strong. Actually, very much so, very strong. Totally, undeniably, very strong. No matter how much, even if let's say past empires, Chinese dynasties, they would disallow some of the peasant farms to mate with. They would take the concubines and all. That's what you call consolidation. Realistically, we're going to see that again. Very much likely that that's going to happen. I'm not talking about this for the sake of the argument about how it's going to go down the road, but I'm going to say this because people really know. People would say something like Japan and all that, where people keep to their quarters and all that. You cannot totally infringe a society of its sexual needs. You can't. Even if we talk about, even if the most rational, defiant mind, whatever, would still agree to the fact that even a totalitarian society, most totalitarian, not even, fiction's only fiction, you can't even suppress. They'll just say only the masses are kept controlled, but not the upper elites. Of course. And that's why we call it totalitarian, right? But even then, so to the masses, they will revolt. They'll do their best to revolt until all control has been established. Therefore, but looking at it one way, that's pretty much it. What's more even insidious is the idea of eugenics that is being widespread practice today, even though they shame Nazi Germany for it. And it is what you come down to. Yeah, the values of the powers that vie for the countries.